Today, I'm following suit with Lachlan. He is doing a superset of the Cuban press and Jefferson curls. The Jefferson curl is a staple to my current program. You just might not see it because it's not appropriate to the specific goals I have for this series.
It's pretty relevant to one-arm pull, I'd say. Yeah.
Jefferson curls. Have a look at the hammies when I do this. With something like the Cuban rotations or Cuban presses, that's something you'd ideally want to do in front of a mirror so that you can correct yourself along the way. It's an important exercise to have the symmetry on point. Lachlan just said that he does it in front of the window reflection, as his only mirror is in the bathroom and you wouldn't be able to fit in there.
I actually
doing. Oh, have you?
Yeah.
He has.
So fun.
Yeah. I'm going to follow suit with Lachlan again and get some mobility superset in with this cuff capacity. You ideally want a straight arm for this drawing sword. When I'm up top, I completely stretch it out. It just feels like when I'm coming down, it bends that little bit because my chest is so swole. Boom! Subscribe now. Now we're supersetting with middle split, which I've recently changed thanks to input from Lachlan via Jordan Garcia. Internal rotation of the feet, which internally rotates the hips. When I make sure that the feet stay facing forward, I feel it that much more on the groin muscles, and that's what we're building to get stronger, to be able to hold the body in that stretched out position. So I've gone up a bit again in the positions that will lead to greater gains later down the track. It's quite uncomfortable on the ankle, can be. And I'm trying to get my hips forward too, so my butt's not sticking out. Take it slower so the ankles can get used to it. It will definitely result in greater gains down the track than compared to having the feet and the hips, for that matter, turned out. Getting into the ice bath now, and it's a little bittersweet because I'm kind of cold, so I don't want to get in there. And the worst part is that initial just getting in the shock. But I'm actually looking forward to it this time because one, it's getting easier because we're doing it twice a week every week. So this will be the 5th one, which is the most consistent I've ever been with an ice bath. So I should be getting better at it. We're sitting at a toasty 11 degrees at the moment. Just checked that thermometer. And the reason why I'm looking forward to it is because of that arm injury. I think the icing or that cold application is really gonna help it. Oh, how I miss you, Mr. Icy Ice.
Compose yourself, mate.
Yes. It's not nice when the drips go on my thighs.
Well, guys, watch this.
Yes. Oh, I got wet. Damn it. So we're at the 10-minute mark now. I've had Lachlan move all the ice packs up to around my upper body because that's where we want it to be cold. It's been in about 30 seconds. It seems to be sitting at around 13 degrees.
Wow.
So it's gone up 2 degrees. Next one is Thursday, but they are certainly getting easier in the mental aspect. The toughest part is just knowing that it's going to be piercingly cold as soon as you get in, then you get over it. You want to opt between 15 to 8 degrees, as Niles said, and use a thermometer to measure that. 10 minutes, no more. Could do less, but I've always heard 10 minutes, so stick to 10. And have someone with you to make sure you don't go nights in the bath.
My workout today has been turned upside down, I guess, because of that injury I've had in the forearm. It's not allowing me to do the skills I would normally do, like the chin-ups, weighted chin-ups, and any straight arm work. It seems to put, it's okay now, but when I actually put strain on it in a straight position, I seem to feel it incredibly quickly. So I'm doing some other exercises today, some firsts, to help with the other goals. It seems like I can tackle impossible dip a bit more, so we're going to focus on that. With this exercise, I'm not going to say I invented it, but I did come up with it without seeing anyone else do it, with a TheraBand for the impossible dip. So it's going to help me do the impossible dip position, which I think is really important to go through it, because up until you've heard of this exercise, it's such a foreign movement to be static and to just do a tricep extension up. So this is going to help me hit that. Go for 5 reps. Let me know what you guys think of it as well. Bittersweet, great exercise, but even that is difficult to do the impossible dip, so we've got a lot of work to do. I'll show you my set of 1-arm pulls for this week. I'm still doing assistance, and this is kind of bordering on feeling it in the forearm. I feel like if I was to overgrip the bar, I would feel it, so I've just got to be mindful of the technique going into it. Note how I'm not sitting at home. I'm still training, working around the injury. I did 2 reps on that arm, because even then it feels a bit, I don't want to push it, basically is what I'm saying. You'll also notice I wasn't using the 2-finger assist like I was the week prior. I used the whole hand, same principle, just giving myself that little bit more assistance so that there wasn't that risk of injury by exerting too much stress on the injured area. As you saw, you can also make the impossible push-up more difficult by bringing your shoulders further over your hands, but there comes a limit where you need to add resistance as well. I think I could actually go heavier for that, and what I'm focusing on is generating power from a static position where nothing's happening yet. Similar to if you were to drive out the whole of a squat. I'm trying to generate that power, because that's one of the important aspects to focus on when in that impossible dip position and when I'll be going for the goal. I'm finishing off my upper limb workout with the resisted push-ups. Usually I'm a gun at this, but I'm gonna ask Lachlan to not put as much resistance on me this time, just to gauge how durable this injury is for this exercise. I wasn't sure if I should do it or not, but I figure I can push up, so I'll just do this and have less stress put on me by Lachlan. Lachlan thinks about 25% 25% of what he was doing for the last few times, so a significant reduction. But I'm still trying to keep that workload for this workout without aggravating the injury. Heel drives next for the trunk strength. Now usually we'd lay on a bench with a weight and we'd lift up, hold it for 3 seconds, but there's actually no bench high enough to cater for our needs today. We've found a machine that's going to allow us to do the heel drives. It's a machine, so it does control that range of motion, but I really don't think it detracts much, if at all, from the exercise. I feel an incredible effort in the hamstring. It's almost like if I keep going, something's gonna happen. The push is enough, but then the hold kind of feels like torture. Finishing off trunk strength today, we're taking it to the stall bars simply because it takes away that little thing sometimes you do when you're on a bar to make it easier, turn it into a front lever. So this just is that strict reinforcement to keep the form. Finished the workout for today. Now, we couldn't leave Cato without discussing the topic for the week, recovery. Recovery is so important and we're incorporating it this week with a lot of different methods. We're talking sauna, deep tissue, ice baths comes to mind, I nearly forgot. Cato's generously offered to have a look at my forearm, this forearm injury, perhaps get a bit more of an insight into what's actually gone wrong.
Where you pointed to me is a common tendon. So our pronator teres is tight, as you would expect with a gymnast who does a lot of handstands and that sort of stuff. Now, obviously this is creating a lot of tension on that common tendon, common attachment point. So if we can back the friction off a little bit there, it's going to help. We're going to work now onto the flexor group. And it looks like I'm treating up here, but that muscle all comes through and attaches here. So I'm working at creating space upstream from the injury. You know, when these muscles are really tight, they don't respond well to being loaded.
Do you suggest for people that don't have access to an expert when they have this kind of injury that they get something like a lacrosse ball, a cricket ball or something and do the inspection on their own? They kind of fish around for where that really sore spot is and then just start working that area?
I think self-inspection or self-maintenance is the first port of call for anyone.
Yeah.
Remember, those first 2 or 3 days is a period where the body will go through its inflammation process, and then after that you can start to work into the area and start to free it up yourself.
Yeah.
So where you are now is a perfect time to get in and do a little treatment.
Yeah.
But also, really important when we talk about self-aid is to look at your body's chemistry. Do you have the appropriate chemistry to be able to heal quickly, i.e. are you getting your fish oils on board? Are you getting your anti-inflammatories, for really high-end athletes? Are you taking curcumin, boswellia, pepper extract?
No.
There's a great deal of stuff that you can do, zinc, vitamin C, collagen, all this sort of stuff can be in your diet, whether through supplements or through using bone broths and things like that, to get your body's chemistry to be a super repairer, so to speak. I think if you're training hard and you're eating eating for performance, eating to win, so to speak, then these are the sorts of things that you really should be investing in.
That's where it is, but I noticed that you didn't exactly smash that. You smashed around that area.
Especially because when you told me, you said, I heard a pop.
Yeah,
so
it was a very pronounced pop.
My first port of call is to try and create as much space downstream or as much length downstream in the musculature, break up any lesions in the fascia to give this area a bit of relief during the healing phase. And then over the next 2 or 3 weeks, you would work more and more into
that specific area.
So how would you do that? Is that with a bar, with a ball?
I actually like this. Yeah, so just getting on the barbell here and just pulling those fingers back, so you're creating a bit of tightness through the flexor group, and just rolling that out there. You can kind of really ramp it up if you get onto this. There's no spinning of the bar now, so it's much harder on the forearm, but you're creating more shearing forces, so you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck. Whenever you're creating these shearing forces, you're breaking up a lot more fascia. And another way of doing that would be to pin the muscle. So you're pinning it like where it was a bit tight.
Yeah.
And pulling the flexors through. Similar to a pin and stretch method, which was what I was just using. You pull that through.
I'll be doing an ice bath later today.
Great.
But you suggest going forward over this week, next week, to focus on smashing it and gradually getting closer to that area. How will I know when to actually go to that specific area?
It's a little bit like, how do you know when the teeth is going to fall out? You wiggle it and wiggle it and wiggle it until it starts to feel it, and then it's the same thing. Keep working into it, today, tomorrow, the next day it should be good to go.
Yeah.
And then you can really start to smash that very, very localized in that area. Because we're trying to restore function to that area, we're trying to restore movement, and anything that has gotten in there and healed over that period, it's going to require your manual therapy to get it to lay down the tissue in the right way.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm looking forward to that recovery. I want it as soon as possible, but I won't rush it. I'll take my time with it and make sure that it's done right. Thanks so much, Cato. Once again, we always learn something new coming here. There's always something new to use. It's such an awesome place, guys. If you're in the area, in Sydney, I highly advise come down and check it out.
Thanks very much.
It's a Friday evening, the day off of our training week, and we're having our sauna recovery. We wouldn't normally document this on camera, but because it's week 3 recovery week, we're showing you everything we're doing for our recovery. I'm doing it once a week, putting you into an environment that's a lot warmer than you would normally be exposed to. So it gets you sweating, it gets the blood moving around the body, and it just helps to cleanse you that little bit more than if you weren't using the sauna. Niall's advocated to we're pretty much just sitting in there, aren't we? It's just a sit down for half an hour, which is 10 minutes longer than we've normally done. It's generally not the level of heat we want at first. I'll show you how we make it hotter. We've just come into the sauna. The lighting is not very good. There's only this one under some of the benches to sit on. It's quite warm compared to last time. It seems like someone's recently been in here. So what we do to make it hotter is you just tip water on the coals. It makes steam rise up out of the coals and it starts to heat up. It's definitely hotter higher up in the sauna compared to lower down. So we do sit higher, and let's see if we can get a shot of this water to coal action. Moisture makes my hair look better too, so this is great preparation to go out. We're nearly at the end. We've got about 5 minutes left. We're going for that half an hour. This time we challenged ourselves a bit more in terms of the temperature. It got really hot and humid up in this here bitch. The highest we got it was about 69 degrees. This is going to really help with recovery, removing that lactic acid, helping to alleviate the DOMS. Lachlan's dripping through this bench onto me. It's sick. You're so lucky, man. People would dream of that chance. I'll show you what we're doing after this. You will find it very, very interesting. You won't have thought of it. You won't have. But you're about to find out what. We're finished. We've done our half hour. What we do now is we just sit down. And you got to shower. Otherwise you are disgusting. So we just come up here. It's Tyson. Now we swim around for a bit. In the sauna we were relatively stationary. In the pool we're moving around. Getting some of that movement. Once again to dispel the evil lactic. So, we've just finished in the pool. The pool is once. After I've done the pool, we have our mandatory shower off, and then we're going back in the sauna to dry off, warm up a little bit, and that's the recovery over. Yeah. No, seriously, come in, I guess, lonely. It's a Saturday. Usually we would do rings play today. We've come to Impact. It's an awesome gym. It just doesn't cater for the full gymnast, so there's no A-frame rings tower here. Because that's more essential to the rings play, we've swapped it around and we're doing a ring sequence workout today and doing rings play tomorrow when we're at Olympic Park. The other good thing about this gym is Bear Grylls is looking over us with his Christian faith and his backbone.
Why is that in here?
We're doing our ring sequence today. Unfortunately, that's still something I'm opting to leave out of the workout. It'll be too intense on that forearm, re-injure the area. So I'm very slowly introducing myself back to that straight arm work by just doing some support holds to start with. I'm able to work towards my impossible dip without any aggravation. So I've been doing weighted impossible push-ups. This workout I did 3 sets. First set was 15, then 20, and then I finished off with 25. I think because the goal is to just perform one impossible dip on the P-bars, it's more important to focus on strength. So I think anything more than 10 reps would be pushing it a bit too much or unnecessarily too much for what my goal is. You'll notice the last weights session, I skipped the bench press because that was the session that had immediately happened to the forearm. For this session, I'm doing bench now because it actually doesn't aggravate it apart from when I have to unrack it. That's what Lachlan's there to help with. What I was doing was 95 at a working set, dropped it down to 90 now. Got bicep curls now, another exercise I can do, but for this one I have to scale back the weight because there's that risk of curling the wrist and imitating that false grip under load that puts me at risk of re-injuring the area. So I've scaled it down to 8 kilos, which I still get a good workout from. It's just not as intense. It's advocated to do 5 reps of that exercise. I think I did several more than that just because I'm doing quite light. I feel like I can go a little bit more, so I'm actually feeling like I'm getting work done, because if I up to the weight, the intensity becomes too much on that forearm area. Man, I really love this injury. I'm going to talk about it every set. I still think it's important that I replicate the whole workout, so that I am every session making those steps towards coming back to full intensity, my full strength. The next recovery method I do is deep tissue work, aiming to do it every night. The aim of these sessions is to dig around and find tight parts in my muscle, knots, massage them out with a firm object, and it helps to reduce tightness. I'm basically trying to iron out everything in the muscle. Obviously the areas I work are my chest, my arms and my shoulders mainly, because this is gymnastics strength training. The firmness of the tool can range from soft like a foam roller to hard like concrete or beyond like my haggard cricket ball. I don't recommend you start with the hardest object though. It's not about that. It's about finding what works for you. And if you're new to deep tissue, I definitely recommend starting with a foam roller. The take-home message is the deep tissue work helps to reduce tightness and soreness in my muscles, which helps to improve my performance. We're at Olympic Park on this Sunday. We've swapped the sessions round, so what would have been ring sequence is now rings play today. I'm still going to be taking it easy on the forearm. Ding, 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 ding.
Congratulations everyone that guessed that was coming.
Yes. Well, I've got the A-frame ring structure. I ideally would like to play on that. I think what I can do will be quite limited because of this. But I'll do what I can. I may even throw in some tumbling today as well. I had coffee earlier today at the start of the day, so I'm not having a pre-workout now. Ready to go. Unfortunately, I'll be holding back a little bit on cross, multis, but I'm going to be pushing it to the limit that I can do so that I can jump back into training for full planche as soon as possible.
Felt alright actually, which is good. You'll notice I touched to the ultimate, but there was no pain there.
Still my little variation on the swing dip gymnastics conditioning. Because the actual exercise is a very big jolt, I don't want to put that pressure on the forearm.
just testing where it starts to flare up.
It's gonna fall.
It's getting a bit easier, but tactics are changing every so often for each set. So first time I did it, they just went up halfway for 5, then full for 5. Some of it's just straight there. It's getting better. I still have a long way to go with that though. I tried to hold it up there for comedic effect. It didn't work. Go crazy, mate. I was just as hard as I could. Do it as explosively as you can. On the way up, obviously. Try and lift me off my seat. There we go. Come on, is that all you got?
It's not even on with anything.
Yeah, I reckon it's better like that.
My neck! You've done me neck, mate! Thumbnail.
Yeah, good?
Yep.
Yep. Good.
Don't have my knees on there.
My quads! My quads!
I like that you're being very explosive. I'm just going to get better at controlling it. For rings play today, I'm doing tumbling. Niall will be sitting at his desktop or laptop like he's not understanding the program. I'm just going to try and stick a few front tumble variations. That's what I feel like doing given the fact I can't really do much intense strength work on the rings. Lachlan's having a ball today. It looks really fun, so I really wish I could be on there doing it. Oh, don't worry, you can cut that one. Yes. You okay, man?
Yeah. But I broke out too early.
I've never seen you do that before, man. The reason why that happened was because I broke out too early. I misjudged the bounce at the start and just thought, oh, I'll come out of it. But you should never do that. Sometimes it feels like it's the right thing to do, but it never is. Even if you feel like you misjudged your bounce, always commit to it. If I'd committed to it, I would have come out on my back or something. This is hilarious. This is the third injury I've had. Like, I just landed on my neck, so I'm not going to continue doing that. I feel fine. I assume a lot of the mobility stuff I've done helps that. Like, I felt a crunch, but I feel good now. I know my neck will be sore in the morning. But yeah. Damn, I just can't catch a break, can I? I love going for stuff. The way I've been accident prone this start of the series, hopefully is just showing you what not to do for your own training. I've took one for the team. One too many times though, so hopefully that was the last.
accident for this series. This might be a good time to mention that Skins have helped us out with some apparel. So you might have noticed the Skins brand shorts Lachlan and myself have been wearing throughout the series. They have a 4-way stretch, making them highly suitable for training. That's why we're wearing them all the time. What you haven't seen is we're also using Skins compression wear to help us recover before and after training sessions. A few times per week I'm sleeping in the RY400 Skins recovery range to give compression whilst I sleep to help reduce the lactic acid buildup and improve recovery. You need to wear them for at least 3 hours, and I just find when I sleep is the easiest time to do that. Because I don't wear them every night, I usually choose nights after my most demanding training sessions. Every morning I wake after sleeping in the Skins, I pretty much float out of bed. I feel refreshed and extremely light in my movement for the next training session.
What a week you have had, mate. Finishing on that double front. Good stuff.
Already at week 3 is insane because this happens with all the others. You get to a certain point and then you go, oh, it's becoming a reality now that in this going forward set of time, I need to have full planche. It just seems crazy. I'm enjoying the workouts. I'm just continually hitting bumps in the road, which is fine, not for me, but that's how training can be sometimes. I think if I just take it easy, I gotta stop pushing it. That was just stupid, double front. Just taking it easy, going steady. As you saw with the gymnastics conditioning, I just stepped things back, but continued to do it. It's feeling good. There's going to be a new program next week, so make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be more specific towards our goals. Did you enjoy the recovery? What do you think of the recovery that we're doing? And do you guys have any recovery suggestions for us that we aren't yet incorporating? I think I could be a little bit more consistent, especially with deep tissue. Sauna once a week is okay, and I lost a lot of weight the next day after that sauna. I was nearly down to a 85 again, as opposed to that big lard 90.
Wow. That's probably all water though, so I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would benefit more from doing more ice baths. What do you think?
Maybe one more a week. I don't think any more than that I think would be probably excessive.
Might be too much, but I have found that the ice baths were really helpful for my forearm recovery, and that recovery that CATO'S showed me for my forearm has been helping as well. So the deep tissue, the ice baths are amazing. The sauna helps, it kind of just relaxes you, it helps to loosen up the muscles again so you're ready for the week going forward. Sleep I could probably do a little bit better with, and the Skins helps every now and then as well. If I'm feeling sore, like I smashed a workout, I'll just throw on the Skins and have the sleep, and it will help me feel a little bit more refreshed for the next week. So going into week 4, we've got a new program. Get excited for that. Everything's going to be stepped up. I'm not going to own myself next week, but it's still going to be epic. Tune in. There's a new episode every week, so make sure you subscribe to get it in your feed. I will see you for week 4.
Yeah. I'm gonna go a frappe. Yeah.